ignore that noise. Someone asked the other day and they said, what's that noise? Sounds like Darth Vader. I actually thought, must have my anxiety a little bit worse, but it's a fan. It's not weather for fat people outside, particularly fat blokes with long hair. But I've even been up and showered this morning. So I'm not going to bang on about books are coming and all this kind of thing, because I have got quite a number of books. 4 finished and 1 half finished, more than half finished. But the releases depend on certain something that is happening, but I can't control it. So their books will be out when that's done this year. Trolls. I want to talk about Trolls. Now, it's something I deal with on a daily basis, but I don't mind admitting that I didn't know how to for the first couple of years. So I released my first book in over 7 years now. I mean, so the first 2 were Paul Sykes, Wakefield, both bestsellers. Obviously, that got option to become a film. But the hate I got for that didn't mean anything to me, because I'm not from Wakefield. I grew up, I don't know, middle of Wakefield, probably about 70 mile away, and just went, didn't know any of them. My third book was a boxing book. Didn't really get a great deal of hate for that. Then the Lee Duffy book came, and that's when I discovered Trolls. Martin Luther King said a very famous quote. He said, "Show me a man who's got no haters, and I'll show you a man who's got no success." So after the Duffy book came, then I did another Middleton book, Dominic Negus book, a Roy Shaw book, and then I did The Hole of the Moon. Now that's when the particularly nasty stuff came. That was when really nasty stuff came. And as I said, I didn't know how to deal with it. I do now. But I didn't then. And that's when I started. I didn't know what my condition was. It's called dyspnea. I don't even know how to pronounce that. It's called DISPNEA. Dyspnea. I don't know if it's a silent P or something. So I was diagnosed with that 2 years on the back of, but I did have many conversations with your likes of Josh Warrington, James English, and they all said the same. Ricky Burns, they all said the same. Said, who cares about what Bob 110, who's got 7 subscribers, who's slagging your hair off, who's bald, and I got it then, but I didn't get it at the start. It was quite nasty. As I said, I didn't know how to deal with it, where now I do. It doesn't even register with me. Before, I used to like getting the last word in and then block them dead quick. But I've had one this morning, and it just shows the nature of him. I think I put something on rest in peace, Rob Burrow, and someone put, "Oh, lol, you should have written a book on him, you crank." And I just blocked him. I've learned that I do not have the time to answer to everyone with a smartphone, because everyone's capable of leaving nasty stuff. And, you know, you've all got access. I've had 1 or 2 conversations with Ricky Gervais. Not like me, but, well, I have, but it's on he's obsessed with the Paul Sykes documentary. So if you message someone enough, then the statistics are that, hang on, I changed my arm, getting old. So if you message someone enough, even though they've got millions and millions, you're probably going to get through with them. So yeah, you know, it doesn't even register with me now with the nasty stuff. It just goes. And I used to listen to Russell Brand a lot, and he said, you know, like, everyone's got different opinions, and his quotes were, you know, I'm a little bit famous, and he said, just don't look at it. Don't look at it. So we're all a victim of our ego. And I was in the Gazette something like 19 times in 4.5 years at some stage. And I thought, oh, this is brilliant, this. And I used to read my own comments and all that, which is the height of narcissism. But yeah, you know, I used to kind of, and then all of a sudden I'd be reading and go, no, can't stand him. He's a fat knobhead, looks like a lesbian, blah, 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 chip fat on head and tinfoil lace and all this kind of stuff. And I was, you know, and yeah, but I've learned, and I don't look. You know, you can't write as many books as I have. Released 22. I mean, that Viv Graham documentary, so it's on series 4 at the minute. I'm in series 5, part 5. Obviously I did various work behind the scenes. I put them in touch with certain people. I had various interviews. I don't think they're using any of the Lee Duffy stuff, but I am in the next episode. You know, I kind of put him in touch with. So the same pathologist who examined Lee Duffy examined Viv Graham. Yeah, I kind of pulled a few strings behind the background, and anyway, moral of the story is there's a mixed view on the Viv Graham documentary, and I was involved with 3 documentaries. One I'd rather not be reminded of, and the other 2 were Lee Duffy. And I am going to do another documentary when certain things have happened and gone away and disappeared. Sure, you can know what I'm on about. I'm not going to go into it. But yeah, my take is I just don't look at it anymore. And it's easier. Life is easier. And what I discovered, I remember Delroy Showers telling me a couple of years back, a sign of people talking about you is a sign of success. It's not just the money, the cars, the women, the bestsellers and all. You know, for someone, because humans, we're all quite self-centered, really. You know, particularly in 2024, a lot of people out there lack empathy. There's a lot of narcissistic traits. So for people to sit and talk about you and just, you know, to another level of obsession, that's a sign of success. As I said, you know, who wants to talk about someone? So if people are talking about you, then you're doing something right. Oscar Wilde said, there's only one thing worse than being talked about, and that's not being talked about. And yeah, I've been up since, I think I've told you already, so I've been up since 6. I've got books. Lots of books have come out, but there's a procedure to go in place before that happens. And then you'll see them come out quick, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then by then, I'll be on Brian Clough. I'm going to start Brian Clough this autumn. There's been 9 or 10 books Cloughie on Cloughie. But there's never been one from a Middlesbrough Teesside contingent. And I probably wouldn't say it's going to be the best Brian Clough book out ever written, but it'll be in the top one. Yeah, I'm obsessed with Brian Clough. By then, I probably will have to get my hair cut like Brian Clough. Got my green Umbro jumper. Yeah, just I'm obsessed. I just become obsessed with, I've read, he's obsessed with Paul Sykes, he's obsessed with Lee Duffy. No, I'm not. Didn't know him. Didn't really want to know him. But I found him extremely riveting. Very insightful to study. Because they were different. They're, particularly your Lee Duffy's young kid, died 5 years before his prime. They don't belong in society anymore because society's changed. There's cams everywhere. You get 5 years without even a bullet these days for carrying a gun. It's like there's no bank robbers because there's cameras everywhere. There's no cowboys and Indians. There's no dinosaurs. There's no, Paul Sykes, whether you liked or loved him, was a very, very interesting man. Just didn't quite, when you watch that 56-minute documentary, which I have done countless times, I read the book, and I've met all the characters. I've met most of the people in that documentary, unless they died. And that documentary, when you watch it, you just go, what the hell have I just watched there? And then you want to learn more about him and why did he have a passion for punching people? Obviously, he had A-levels, O-levels, several degrees. So that's not someone from that life. But it was. And he was a real character and he happened and he existed. So that's my interest. I've got no... I probably do have a little personal connection with Sykes because he was the one who, without him, I would never have went on the path I've become. I would never have met the people I have. Alan Thompson, unless I do Chris Rea's book. Ricky Burns, who I have spoke to. I don't think I'm ever going to do anyone who's a hero to me. I had Alan Thompson. When I split up from my ex in over 21 years ago, and I was 22. I went back to my mum's, and I was just a young kid, 22, but I was probably about 17, 18 in the head. And I had a wall full of Celtic posters and that, and Alan Thompson was on the wall. And then 20 years later on, I write his biography, and become good friends with him. And, I've sat in his company and we've been ringing Henrik Larsson and met Martin O'Neill and spoke to your John Hartons, your Chris Suttons, I named my son after Neil Lennon. So that's how much of a hero he is to me. Obviously Thompson was his assistant manager at Celtic. I named my dog Henrik Larsson. So when we're sat having a glass of wine, ringing Henrik Larsson, I'm like, Martin O'Neill is an absolute god to me, always will be. And I never got over looking at my phone. For all these people I met and used to have to text and ring and Ali McCoist and all this, and I never ever got over looking at my phone and going to the wife, look at that, Martin O'Neill's ringing me, and then answering and pretending I wasn't starstruck and going, Martin? And that never ever got old. And, it was a pleasure and a privilege. I did the Jack the Ripper book afterwards. And Martin is hugely fascinated with the Whitechapel murders. And I sent him the Silver Whitechapel book. He read all the Lee Duffy books. Knew who Paul Sykes was. Back in 79, when Nottingham Forest were in European Cups, well, of course, he fought John Gardner. So when he fought Gardner, that was in the papers quite a lot. Obviously, it was before my time. So he knew who he was. And obviously, Martin's a big boxing fan and true crime. So he wanted to talk to me about some of the cases I've studied, and I wanted to talk to him about Celtic. And I'm in awe of him, and he's just wanting to talk to me about, and I'm like, yeah, I don't care, but just tell me about what happened when, you know, that European final and Brian Clough and all this, and he's just talking to me about some of the things all that kind of path wouldn't have came to me if I hadn't have went down that Paul Sykes rabbit hole, if you like, and obviously the natural progression came. I grew up in Middlesbrough most of my life, and you know, so Duffy died in 91. I started going in boxing gyms in 92, and I used to hear a lot of the things, and I met people, and some of the people who I went on to interview. So it was kind of a story very close to home. And I'll say it again. There's never been a book I've been involved with which caused that amount of excitement. Celtic, one of the biggest supported clubs in the world. Millions of fans worldwide. And let me tell you, those Lee Duffy books absolutely trounced the Alan Thompson book. So that just shows, you know, Alan Thompson, who played for England, millions of Celtic fans around the world adore him. And people are more interested in some young kid who strutted his stuff in a pair of vests and a pair of shorts. I don't understand it. Well, I do. But that's the harsh reality of true crime in all. It is just fascinates us. It fascinates our nature. You know, when Jack the Ripper killed Annie Chapman, the neighbours who lived there were paying a penny to come in and view the murder site with all the blood. So is that any different to going to Waterstones these days, 136 years on? I don't think it is. But yeah. Let us know your thoughts. But yeah, I've got busy year this year. I was talking to Nick Manners a day or two ago, and I've gone stale. I haven't had a book out for 17 months, although I've been writing, which is, you know, I had 19 out in 4 years, and I haven't had one out in 17 months. I've had 3 out in 3 years, 2 months. And I'd be lying if I said this whole campaign of witch hunt, if you like, where a lot of mud for 4 years has been flung at my name, hasn't affected me, hasn't affected the wife, hasn't affected the child, because it has. But that's why I'm a bit, I'm extra vigilant before I release another book, because we need to go. What is going to happen needs to happen and be put in place. Procedures need to be put into place. Injunctions need to be put in place. I'm not. Yeah, there's more things I could say, but I'm not. And I don't really care. People go, "Oh, it's not happening. It's not happening." I know what's happening. I know how extra. It's almost been military precision with how thorough and deep this investigation has gone. And that's all I'm going to say on that. But it almost literally finished me. You know, I was on the ropes a few times, but I like to meet interesting people. I like to study fascinating creatures. If someone says to me, there's my Uncle Bob. He's an alcoholic. I'm like, right, tell me more. Uncle Bob, alcoholic. You drew me in. What does he do? He's a bit weird. Yeah, right, talk to me. I'm already drew in. And if someone says to me, oh, keep away from him in the corner, in the pub, he stinks, he's a bit weird, he likes to talk to himself, straight away, I'm gravitated. So I'm like, I want to know more. I want to meet that bloke in the corner. That's my nature. Always has been. Because I'm probably a little bit strange myself, but but I don't know, maybe unique is the word, but I'm very different, and a lot of people used to say that to me at school, and I used to get a bit down about it, but now I revel in it, because it means you're different, it means you're a one-off, and that's how I am in life and how my outlook is, but yeah, let us know your thoughts below. Keep them nice. As I said, if you want to slag me off. Another thing as well, it's always in the grapevine. It's like Tom fights with Jerry, cats fight with dogs, Celtic hate Rangers, and Jamie Boyle's hair smells. It doesn't. In fact, it smells incredible. I wish you could smell it from here. A lot of people, greasy chip on it. That, just forget that right there, because that's as big a lie as anything that's ever been said about me for the last 4 years. But yeah, to the people who want to sit and call me names and all that, make sure you get off your chest what you want to call me, because you'll be blocked. I just do not have time. I'm not like certain people on here. All they've got is this. This is as far as they're going. I'm not. If I didn't sell books, if I didn't have to tell people, there's no point writing the best book in the world if you don't tell anyone. And our channel these days is a little bit more about books. It's got that way over the last couple of years. But yeah, I need interaction. I need platforms to interact and tell people there's a book out, this Kindle's out, this podcast, whatever's out, even though I'm not a podcaster. I don't want to be. But yeah, we've got nearly 11,000 on here, and I've had some wonderful, tremendous support the last couple of years. A lovely girl called April. Who else? Stella Smithson. I'm a Swinger, that always pops up. Cheryl. I've had some Martin Vegas. It's so heartwarming when, because one can get down. I'll get a bit depressed with the lies said about me. And then someone will pop up with a lovely, nice comment, and it's, so it means a great deal. Thank you so much. I thank you sincerely from the bottom of my heart. But yeah, I don't have time to even reply if it's any kind of abusive. If it's constructive, and then fine. As long as it's amicable and civil, I'll speak to you. But I rarely even swear in life, unless it's in a Billy Connolly way, a little bit of humour. But yeah, right, got to go, guys. Mickey Van, I interviewed him the other day, so I'm going to type that up, and more interviews and all that. But thank you to all who followed the channel over. I come on in August 2020, so it's nearly 4 years. We had 1,500. I come on and we're nearly on for 11,000 now. So yeah, this channel is run by 3 people as well. So a lot of the old shares, it's not even me. It's the lads from the office. But I am predominantly the face of War Cry Publishing. Those other 2 have face for radios. But they like to, although they kind of do, they like to be in the background. Like the 4th League of Gentlemen guy, I forgot his name. Where Jeremy, that's it. Where kind of Reese will do, and the other characters kind of, they like to be in the background. But yes, thank you so much. Give me an inbox. Write a comment underneath. Give me a follow at Jamie Boyle 10 on Twitter, and I'll talk to you all day. I'm on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Facebook Jamie Boyle Author. But yeah, just keep it civil, keep it nice, and just remember, just quote Brian Clough, be nice. I never understand how these people left and blind and be abusive and, you know, kind of come across a bit like a Neanderthal who's just discovered fire. And then they'll expect an answer. And I'm just like, as I said, just do not have time. But yeah, talk to me, people.